Across the world, some camps are small and informal, others are large and structured. But every camp greets campers to their site, provides shelter, food service, leadership, and program. The ICF Camp Study Tour videos attempt to capture the common elements of all camps, as well as the differences that leadership, philosophy, geography, and culture bring to the world of camping.
Today, we travel to Greece to meet Alexia Sideri, owner and director of Delphicamp. Hi, Alexia.
Hi, Georgie. Thank you for visiting my camp. I'm very happy to show you around.
I have been wanting to have a little tour of your camp for many years. It's been too long. We've met in so many different parts of the world, but I haven't been to Greece, and so this is a great day for me.
This is your chance, Georgie. Ask me anything.
All right. Well, thanks for taking a little time. I know it's a busy season preparing and delivering camp program, but we want to take a little peek behind the scenes and hear from you as a camp director and some of your perspectives on how you came to be that camp director at Delphicamp. Let's start with some details of the camp. Name, just where you're located, and any sort of general background about the camp.
Delphicamp was founded in 1993 by my mother and father. They sent my sister and I to camp one year when we were younger, and they realized that it's a nice business to have a camp. I don't know why. So they did some market research to determine if it is actually a good idea and where the camp should ideally be located. They created a business plan, and about 3 years after that, the camp was built from scratch just outside Galaxidi in Greece. Galaxidi is a small town with a long nautical history that is very near Delphi, which was considered by the ancient Greeks as the center of the world. That is why our camp is named Delphicamp.
The center of a camp world for many children, I'm sure. So you were there as a camper. Did you go to Delphicamp as a camper, or did you go to a different camp?
No. The camp was created when I was just about 17 and a half, 18. So I went to camp when I was 13, 14. So the first year I was a counselor. The second year I was a unit head or head counselor. I'm not sure exactly of the name in English. And the third year I started working inside the office. And that was it. I was never able to leave the office again.
So here you are now, director. Tell us more about the camp scene in Greece. Where do your campers come from? How do you find your staff? How do you build the camp community there?
The private camps in Greece are about 60 all over Greece. There are also public camps owned by ministries or public companies like the water company and the electricity company and the telephone company and the church. The campers are 6 to 16 years old, and they come through the social security offices of their parents or through a special program that sends kids to camp as long as their parents are unemployed or employed but with a low family income.
Do those children build a relationship with Delphicamp? So, do they come year after year, or is it a new group of children each year?
Mostly they come every year because they come from around our camp, let's say in the major cities around our camp and all the little villages, and they bring their friends as well.
I'm excited to take a walk around. But before we do that, maybe just a sense of the physical space. How large is the site and the property? What access to either public space or other space do you have? How many children come to camp? Give us a sense of the physical.
So the camp is at 10,000 square meters. I hope I'm saying this right. The cabins of the campers are brick houses with roof tiles in the original architectural style of Galaxidi, because the town of Galaxidi, that is very near us, is protected architecturally. So we couldn't have anything else. It had to be brick-built houses with roof tiles. It is walking distance from the beach. We have access to two different ones, and it is 15, 20 minutes from the nearest hospital.
Do the children arrive by bus, by car from the parents, or in some other way?
So the children are brought to the camp by their parents, because although they register for camp online, they have to deliver to the camp specific papers signed by them on the day. And it is much easier to just bring the kids to camp. They all live around the camp, at the most a 2-hour drive. So they just bring the kids to camp, and they usually, before COVID, get to see the camp. We used to allow them to come inside the camp and look anywhere they like. Inside the cabins, inside the bathrooms, outside the kitchen. No one is allowed inside the kitchen, so only outside. But from the window, they could look inside and see how it was. And this way, they felt more relaxed, more comfortable, and they could ask any questions they had at that time.
Maybe just one more question in relation to choosing Delphi. What is your collective, your staff philosophy or mission that you try to put out in your messages?
From our part, we try to convey the message that we want to provide a safe environment for campers to spend an enjoyable summer. We want to create the circumstances and the atmosphere that will allow the camper to discover new activities, new friends, new characteristics about themselves. From the parents' perspective, they choose the camp that is closer to their home. And especially for Delphicamp, we are walking distance from the beach, and we also have a swimming pool.
All right. So let's start right at the front gate. As parents drive up, you're standing there and all your staff in your Delphi shirt. And what are you seeing and what does it look like?
So our camp is on a hill. So it's not flat. This is the basic characteristic that some people are surprised to see, because you cannot tell on the photos on the website. So when they arrive the first day, as soon as the camper enters the camp, they are introduced to their counselor. Most probably they already know them from last year, but if they are new, they introduce to each other, and they go to the group. There, the camper gets introduced to the other kids, and there are some activities happening to, help them get to know each other better.
Tell us a little bit more about cabins or accommodation and the facilities there. What do the children have in their home away from home?
So in Greek, it's called spitakia, which means exactly little houses. And the names of the groups are after constellations and planets. The little brick houses with the roof tiles are divided into 2 rooms with a wall in the middle. Each room has a group inside. Each group has at least one counselor that sleeps in that room with the campers. The rooms themselves have only wooden beds in normal adult size and cabinets for their clothes, and their luggage can go under the beds.
Do the campers provide their bedding, or is that part of the camp service?
The Greek campers have to bring their own bed sheets, towels, and even pillow to make it more sanitary. Our international campers, because it's more difficult for them to carry all these things, we provide them for them. Any bathrooms, washing spaces, showers are in separate houses around the camp where the campers can go and use them. Nothing else is inside the room where they sleep.
So the first aid and health service at Delphi, you said that the hospital is nearby, but do you have a nurse or a first aid person on the camp property?
we are obliged to have a doctor and a nurse. For the past 3-4 years, we're obliged to have a psychologist or a social worker. The doctor is basically for emergencies or something more difficult that the nurse cannot handle. The nurse is there to give out any medications that are taken by the kids and to clean, kids that have scraped their knees. There is a special area that we have created for our psychologist. And when the kids go there, they do experiential activities that help them realize things about themselves, that help them bond as a group, or that teaches them manners, being social, stuff like that. And it's so interactive. They enjoy it, and I think they understand the value it has for them.
You bet. Can we go into your dining area and explore the kitchen and meet the kitchen staff and find out the favorite foods for Greek campers?
Our kitchen is equipped to feed 1,000 people. We make about 250 portions at every meal, depending on the numbers of campers we have at each session. The dining area, it's not completely closed. It has walls on 2 sides, and the other 2 are open. Indoor, outdoor dining. Now, eating. We have for lunch and dinner 1 dish. There's no choice of what they will have. This is basically because if we give them choice, they will only have pasta. This way, they get to eat a little bit of everything. Of course, the menu is made in such a way that they will eat. For example, when we have like lentil soup as a main course, they eat everything. Everything. There's nothing left. There are no leftovers with the lentil soup. We have the things that normally kids would eat, like burgers or chicken with potatoes in the oven, and of course pasta, but not every day. With every meal, we serve a Greek salad and fruit. And the counselors, so they just put the trays on the table and they sit down. And then the unit heads and other people who help around in the dining area go around with the salad, serving salad and the fruit. When that is over, we always put music. They expect us to put music, and they dance. There are specific dances that are created for the camp that are so easy that anyone can pick them up even from the first time they see them.
It sounds like an Alexia tradition. That's great. And how many staff are back in the kitchen helping out?
So it's 3 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. 1 cutting all the salads, 1 dishwashing, and our cook.
So what can we do? Take us on a tour of daytime activities.
During the weekdays, after breakfast and after morning cleanup, we gather to go to the beach. We separate the camp in 2 groups. The first group leaves and the second group does activities at the camp, and then they switch. This is because we don't want everyone to be at the beach at the same time, so we can better take care of them and be watchful. At the beach, we have a huge inflatable slide. They may play games with their counselors, but usually they like to swim in the water and refresh and talk and be with each other. Some kids bring their snorkels, and they have brought octopuses back to camp for us to cook. If they catch a baby, we tell them they should throw it back in the water. Only if they catch a big one, only then. Anyway, also we have, in Greece we call them canoes. I understand that you call them kayaks. It's the one that you don't go inside. You are on the top of it, on. Our sea is easy there because there are no waves. Usually it's calm. On the days that it's very wavy, we just don't do it.
Is this a public beach or is it part of the property itself?
It's a public beach. In Greece, there are no private beaches. It's not allowed.
Of course.
But it's at the end of the road. And basically, we are always by ourselves. And whenever we have found visitors, we just make so much noise that they leave.
Got it. So while all of this is happening down at the water, what's going on back up at Delphi in camp?
In the morning, they do activities with the counselors that are there with them. They're practicing their skits, their songs. They're at the arts and crafts station. Any activity may happen, or maybe they have the chess tournament, and this is going on as well, or the ping pong tournament. And then they switch. After the beach, there is a time where we call it free time. It's the time where everyone takes a shower, and at 2, we have our lunch. So let's say from 1 to 2, we have the pop-up activities. This was designed to be like activities that happen one-off during the session. And suddenly we say, in 20 minutes, go to the shade under the big tree, and you're going to do something with this counselor. And this something can be, I will teach you 5 words in Chinese. We will create paper planes and we will have a competition. It's a storytelling time or whatever. So then we have lunch, and after lunch, there is a siesta time, 3 to 5. It's like the most warm time of the day, and the kids have to stay inside the rooms with their counselor. In there, some people sleep, some people don't, and they just practice their skits, their songs, just play quiet games in the room. Then we have dessert when it's 5 o'clock, and then the evening activities happen. Every day, there are 3 activities planned for each group. So, for example, if you have swimming pool the first hour, then maybe the second hour you don't have anything, so you have time to shower. And then you have, in the third hour, arts and crafts. Every team does 3 activities every day, and some may have 2. Because if you have a swimming pool at the last hour, then you have done 3 activities during the day.
It says after 5 o'clock, you've had some food at 5. Dessert.
So each activity is 40 minutes, and there's a 5-minute break between.
So it's going to take us till about 8 o'clock?
Yes, 7:30, everything stops. They rush to have showers or whatever. And at 8 o'clock, we lower the flag and go to dinner. It's later on, because if we serve it earlier, they will be hungry when they go to sleep.
And it must be a little cooler at 8 also.
It is a lot cooler. The best time is then. After we have our dinner and we dance, our 3 dances at the dining area, then we prepare for the evening entertainment. And it starts around 9:15 maybe. That time is the coolest and most enjoyable of the whole day. So we can play our treasure hunt, we can do our theater night, we can have our Delphi vision, where it's the singing night. We can play games for the whole camp that are like treasure hunt, but it's something different. We have created games for the whole camp, and we play them every year, and maybe we make some changes, maybe we find something new, but a lot of them we play again and again because the kids really like them. So that finishes at 10:30.
It seems that every camp has some unique traditions. Are there any special things that come to mind that every camper or staff would say, I remember when?
If something happens every year, I would say it's what we do the last night when they have to leave the next day. We have Delphi Awards. There's a list of categories that are serious or not. All the teams nominate people for these categories, and they can be from their own group or from all over the camp. And that happens on the last day, the award ceremony. Do you want me to tell you about the last night? What we do?
Yes, please.
We gather at the basketball court, but we don't open the lights so we can see the stars. And the teams sit on the ground in circles with their own groups and discuss about what happened during the session. the highlights, let's say, with their counselor. And then they decide what they want to share with the rest of the camp. So we have a microphone there playing music, and they can request songs to be playing all night as a soundtrack when they are talking. And every now and then a camper comes to the microphone and shares a story, something that happened, or just they do, I don't know what's this called in English, when you say, I dedicate this song to my best friend, Georgie. Yes, they do stuff like that.
Well, Alexia, this has been great. I want to give you a final opportunity to say anything at all about camp, about camping, about ICF. It's the last night. We're all sitting in circle, and you are able to tell us a little bit about how you're feeling about the future of camping.
So I want to share with you my thanks to camp. Thanks to camp, my parenting is more intentional, and it focuses on values, ethics, on being and celebrating your true self. The second thing I want to share with you is my wish for camps and camping globally. My camp idol is not you, Georgie, it's Sako Tanaka from Japan. She is a true visionary, a pioneer and a women's rights advocate. Because of her, I wish for camps to experientially teach campers about the equality among people and, of course, world peace.
I hear Sako's voice, and don't worry, Sako is my idol and mentor as well. So that's great. Alexia, this has been wonderful. I hope that we can bring all of ICF to come and swim in the ocean, in the sea beside Delphicamp, and to dance after every meal and to visit with you. This has been wonderful. Thank you very much. Thanks to camp and thanks to Delphicamp.